Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today we have so many exciting updates. We've got changes to the Princess protocol on back-to-back testing between two cruises. We've got updates that affect Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, Holland America, as well as updates of what the EU is currently saying is required if you want to travel to one of the EU nations. So first of all, I'd like to welcome all of our Let's Go family members, and also welcome to all of you who are new. We're really glad that you're here with us. If there's anyone who hasn't subscribed yet to our channel, we would love it if you would subscribe. And I think you are really going to enjoy being here, part of the amazing Let's Go family, as well as staying up to date on everything to do with requirements and what's going on in cruising right now, especially if you've got a cruise booked. So first of all, let me tell you all about what the changes to the Princess protocols for back-to-back cruises. Our wonderful Let's Go family member Kathy is currently on the Discovery Princess, and they have a back-to-back booked, and that switchover takes place this weekend. Now, we are used to people having to meet that immigration requirement where you have to get off the ship, go through customs, and get back on again. But we have also had the requirement that you have to be tested in between the cruises. Well, she received a notice in their stateroom there that she was so kind to share with me that just went through the requirements for meeting and having a mimosa and everything if you were going to be staying on the ship for another sailing, so that they could answer all your questions. And then it also told them about that requirement for immigration, but it did not mention a COVID test between sailings. So bless her, she went down and talked to customer service, and that is an update. Now today is Saturday, and I just barely looked, and I think it's April 8th. I hope it is. It's Saturday. And she just, so I just looked at the Princess protocols on their website right before I did this video, and that is not listed there yet. But sure enough, there is no testing requirement. And so for everyone who was really stressed out about that, I think it's great news. I would love it if we could talk about it in the comments. Do you think this is a good move? Do you not like this move? I would like to hear what you think, but that is how it's going to be moving forward. And I would really love to hear from anyone who is on any other back-to-backs on the other ships, and see if they have implemented these changes on your sailings as well. So that is a big change. And thank you again, Kathy. I really appreciate you taking the time to send that to me. The next thing that I want to let you know about is we have got the updates to do with Norwegian. Now, there's a few things to think about with Norwegian. The main updates here have to do with anyone who is on a sailing that has to do with Israel. And that affects the cruises on the Norwegian Jade for April 8th, April 24th, May 1st, and May 8th. And these changes so far are just through May 31st. And the requirement is that now Israel wants anyone who is not an Israeli citizen to fill out a form regarding their health and everything within 48 hours of arriving to the ship for embarkation. Okay, and I will put that link below. It's just like I said, it's what is being required by Israel for visitors there. The next thing that is really important that Norwegian points out, and I will put this link below as well, is they have a place on their website where you can go and check what the travel requirements are to the countries that you're going to be visiting. And just a side note, airlines have that too. We fly Delta usually, and on the Delta website you can go see what is required in every country that you might be flying to. And so that is very valuable as well. So I want to point that out. Norwegian's got that, Delta's got that, British Airways has that. I was just looking at their website. And also, the other update is that now Norwegian has partnered with a company called Inspired Diagnostics Lab to ensure that the guests are able to have an FDA-proctored in-home antigen test prior to embarkation. That is similar to, like on Princess, if you use Optum or eMed to order your tests. Inspired Diagnostics is another one where you can get your test, and then they will do the video call with you and give you the results that you need. And so I thought that was great that Norwegian has found another company to be able to partner with. And you know what, in thinking about it, I think that would probably work for any cruise line because they are really careful to make sure that those are FDA approved for travel and for a COVID test. Now, the next thing I want to make sure everybody knows is what the protocols are if you are going to be flying into the EU. They recently updated those, and the EU requires vaccine boosters are required for everyone coming if their vaccines, like if you got 2 of the Pfizer, 2 of the Moderna, 2 AstraZeneca, whatever it is that you got, if you got 2 of those or 1 of the Johnson & Johnson, if it has been more than 9 months ago, or 270 days as they point out, you need to have that booster. It used to be that they required it if it had been 6 months since, or 180 days since you had had your last dose of your vaccine, but they have updated that, and if it has been 9 months or 270 days, you've got to have that. And Norwegian went so far, and Holland America went so far as to say that if you don't have those boosters, you don't need to come to the ship because you're not going to be able to embark, because that is what is being required. Well, and you know what, for transatlantics, they say don't come to the ship because you're going, but also keep in mind if you are flying to any country in the EU, you have got to be able to show that when you arrive. And so there you go. It sounds like boosters are going to be the thing if you're going to want to go to the EU this year. It'll be interesting to see if they change as the year, as we move later this year, but for now, that's what the requirement is. So be aware of that. I also want to remind everyone that they talk about fully being vaccinated, and you need to have your last vaccine. If you're someone who has not been vaccinated yet, and you're deciding you're going to do it to go on a cruise or to visit the EU, it's got to be at least 14 days since you received your last dose to be able to cruise or to get in. Okay, so remember that. It's really important also what they are considering, the EU is considering as what is required on your proof of vaccination. You've got to make sure that you've got your name, your date of birth, that it's a COVID vaccine, and the name of it, the series of the doses. Like, so on our vaccine card, it's very clear. They're just in order of what the doses are, and the country of vaccination, which I think that we have this on all of ours. It's really clear, but I just want to make sure that everybody has their vaccine card with them, or if you are from somewhere that supplies that digitally, like, don't forget it, or else you can't go on the cruise, or yeah, so that's just really important. The next thing that I want to make sure that everybody knows is Holland America is saying that on all their cruises over in Europe, they are going to have a complimentary COVID test for you there at the port. So you don't have to worry about trying to track down another test. For Princess, they say that they are going to have one for a nominal fee. Someone asked me the other day why I didn't think it would be super expensive. 2 reasons. First of all, the one in the UK, they have already said, is $60 US for that test, and also they use the word nominal. And so if it's going to be $200, that's not a nominal fee. And so those are the reasons that I don't think it's going to be really expensive. And so don't worry about that. And then once again, everyone, all the cruise lines are reminding everybody to keep an eye on what the protocols are in the country that you're going to visit, because those can change quickly, and you want to make sure that you're up to date. You don't want to arrive and find out that something's changed and you're not prepared. Now, the next update that we have got is Royal Caribbean has announced some updates to their transatlantics and their sailings from Copenhagen. And so first of all, these are the transatlantic sailings, and it'll be interesting to see if everyone follows suit. But they've got the Wonder of the Seas sailing April 20th over to Barcelona to start her season with the Mediterranean. April 23rd is Odyssey of the Seas going to Rome. April 29th, we've got the Vision of the Seas going to Barcelona. April 29th, we've got the Jewel of the Seas going to Amsterdam. And May 2nd, the Anthem of the Seas is going to sail over to Southampton there in the UK. And so they want to make sure that everyone knows that they have got to be vaccinated. A vaccine is required for these sailings, and it doesn't sound like it's negotiable. It says including guests who do not meet this requirement, including unvaccinated children under the age of 12, will not be permitted to board a transatlantic sailing from the US to Europe. Now, I think that a lot of this has to do with what the requirement is at the EU, that you be vaccinated and up to date on your boosters. They want to make sure that everyone knows that they do say that it says for the best transatlantic cruise experience, we suggest that you be up to date on all your vaccines, including having received any boosters that you're eligible for. And the last thing on here that I think is really important to point out is they will not accept a certificate of recovery in lieu of a vaccine. So if you're someone that has been using that for other things, they are not accepting it for these cruises. They are going to, they do still have all of the protocols that we're used to in place. You do have to be tested, and masking is still optional. So I wanted to make sure everybody knows that. Then we've got updates that are on the sailings from Copenhagen, and this is just the sailings from Copenhagen that they start on April 24th, and this is just in effect so far through May 31st. And so it says all Royal Caribbean guests ages 12 and older have to present proof of that full vaccine. Children 11 years and under do not require COVID vaccine to cruise. However, kids 5 to 11 who have been vaccinated and want to show that proof, they can travel like just like a vaccinated person. So if you're vaccinated, you should show that, because unvaccinated children are still being required to wear their masks indoors as well as in the children areas, everything. And so be aware of that. They also want to point out that if you the testing requirement stays in place, and that they will be able to get one at the port if you want to. So don't worry about that. The last thing that they point out is in the dining venues, that if you are sailing with unvaccinated children, they will put you at your own table. You won't be able to join other people to dine. And if you're fully vaccinated, you can dine with whoever you want. I think surely they must be doing that just to try to not share germs. The last thing, I guess the other thing I said was the last thing, but the requirements to go ashore, it says that requirements for going ashore can change in ports. Right now, fully vaccinated people can get off the ship and explore, do whatever they want, take whatever tour they want. But as far as unvaccinated people go, those, it says that they're, you might have to be tested every time before you get to a port. So from just what I am hearing, it sounds to me that if you're not vaccinated or you're sailing with unvaccinated children and you want to be able to get off the ship, you're going to have a lot of extra testing. So if you're not crazy about that, you might want to consider rebooking your cruise and call and see what you can do about that. And that's all of the updates that we have got for today. I know it's a lot, but I try to give you the details that you need so that you can have an idea of what's going on in cruising. Even if you're sailing on a different cruise line, I think that what one cruise line does often shows up on other cruise lines, and it just gives us a really good point of reference, as well as a good reminder to stay up to date with everything. If you've got any questions about this, feel free to put it in the comments below, and we will do our best to talk to you. Sorry to get the answer, and I would love it if everyone will visit and say, like I said, if people are happy that that back-to-back testing requirement's gone away on Princess, or do you wish they would have kept it? And so if you appreciate these updates, would you please give this video a thumbs up? That really helps us out. I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.